All right. All right, let's make sure that everything's working right here. Maybe. Appears to be. That's a good start. All right, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. I think I just broke our ticker. Hold on here. Huh. Weird. Must have exceeded the allowed characters in the ticker. But hopefully everybody's having a good afternoon and evening. I don't know if I am, but we're here regardless. We've got a potential for severe weather here over the next couple of days. Right now, nothing is really happening, so my plan for this video is to go and look at some of the SPC data. We'll go through, look at some modeling data, and then we'll go ahead and move on. We'll answer any questions or whatever. We'll go back to some of the weather forecasting here because it's almost 5 o'clock Central, so people are going to be getting off work, probably joining in. After that, we'll, of course, we'll answer some more questions and talk about some future plans here. I've got some new things happening. We are developing an application here, a phone application that will do video bonding here. So hopefully we can replace that big backpack, maybe even with just a cell phone here in the next couple of weeks. We'll be testing some stuff out as well. I'm going to try to allow you guys to see some of that behind the scenes as well. See a lot of familiar people in the chat. My chat's not loading again. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, moving on. So first thing I want to bring to your attention here is the Storm Prediction Center's day 4 through 8 outlook. And we'll go and switch over and start looking at this in a little bit higher resolution here shortly. This 15% chance right there, that is of a little bit of concern because it looks like we've got an uptrend here in the potential for severe weather across portions of extreme northeast Kansas, extreme southeast Nebraska, and then of course western Iowa. We might see that chance extend into portions of southwest Minnesota, maybe even southeast South Dakota. But again, this is a little ways out. Storm Prediction Center even acknowledges that this is not set in stone yet. There's a little bit of uncertainty with placement. Looks like these models have been a little bit all over the place here for that 15% area. That could shift. But if you're in or near this yellow highlighted area, you've got currently the highest likelihood, not necessarily a high likelihood, but the highest likelihood out of any of the folks here in the country to receive severe weather on day 4, which would be on Sunday. And of course, they are talking about potentially severe weather past that as well. So as always, I want to go ahead and take a look at the radar, and I am not prepared for this live stream at all. Is this accurate? This is accurate. We have like nothing happening. You've got to be kidding me. There's almost nothing happening. We have some precipitation up here in Canada, some over there in Washington, maybe some sprinkles happening there in Ohio, but is this right? Am I looking at old data? No, it is correct. Just making sure. It is clear across the United States, and in fact, my cyclone port data there from southern Wisconsin, my car is getting fixed again. We'll talk about the expenses and why we're not going to be chasing very much for the next 4 weeks because of that in a bit. But it's getting fixed, so actually that 68 might not be accurate. It could be inside the building. But I'm showing 68 degrees at my car in southern Wisconsin there. I'm not quite sure how accurate that is. Let's take a peek at some of these other cyclone port units. 85 degrees in Kansas? Are you kidding me? No way. We're sitting at 80 degrees down there, it looks like, near Dallas. And of course, we go down there to Tampa, Florida, and it's down to 70 degrees. You're going to be kidding me. Down there, Old Tomorrow, which is near Tampa, is at 70 degrees, but I'm getting an 84 degree reading off of Burlington, Kansas. You've got to be kidding me. Wow. Warm air is moving into the central part of the country, and we are going to talk about that here in just a minute. I do want to turn on our severe weather layer here, so we can look at this in higher resolution. So right now, this big yellow blob, that's where the Storm Prediction Center is predicting the higher likelihood of severe weather. Realistically, if you live anywhere around this yellow highlighted area, give or take, you could still see severe weather. We're not going to really hone in on this until about 2 days out. So Friday evening, yeah, Friday evening would be a good time to check back. I'll probably have updates tomorrow evening. We'll really start honing in on this. Right now, I believe that somewhere between Omaha and Des Moines is going to be the bullseye for the severe weather. But really, anybody in that area could see the potential for severe weather. Let's see here. Let's if they have anything else mentioned noteworthy in the review. After Sunday, model solutions begin to steadily diverge. It's change, with the Euro model continuing its trend to a faster eastward advance of the upper trough. Thus, associated surface front. Given those uncertainties, assessment of severe weather potential is not offered into the next week. Okay, so the Storm Prediction Center is basically saying that they acknowledge that there is a chance for some severe weather beyond Sunday, so maybe Monday or Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday, but they're not introducing any probabilities right now because there's model discrepancies. It's the same story we had with this big 15% slight risk area here. They didn't want to introduce it too early because they just don't want to unnecessarily move it all over the place because obviously that's not good. Let's go ahead real quick and look at the National Forecast database for high temperatures today. And if you are just joining me, we are in the office here in southern Wisconsin. We will take questions here in a minute, but we are going to be looking at, first we're going to look at, of course, temperature, precipitation chances for the country, and then we're going to move on to that severe weather, and we'll get into some of the questions here. You can see the National Forecast database here is predicting high temperatures today into the 80s, mid 80s down there near Dallas. Believe it or not, here, all of this warm weather is centered over the part of the country here that received those cooler temperatures this past week. We look down here into the southeast U.S., still under a little bit of colder influence down there, where even parts of southern Georgia are at 63 degrees here for a high temperature today. Extreme southern Alabama is reporting 66 degrees right now, which, believe it or not, is significantly colder than the high temperature up here near Bismarck. Why? Okay, so first of all, obviously the warmer colored temperatures, these brighter colors here, such as here and here, those indicate warmer temperatures. These cooler colors indicate colder temperatures, obviously. So what's happening here is we've got a pattern flip happening. That's going to bring some of this severe weather to us, and you're going to see that on the models here in just a minute. We've got a bowl or a section carved out here thanks to the upper level winds. Basically, this colder air from Canada is pushing into parts of the United States. However, with this pattern flip, where it seems like pretty much the entire upper level wind, I guess, trying to describe this in a way that makes sense, the upper level wind patterns here have kind of flipped. So instead of having the cooler air here in the central part of the country, it's going to go over there to the east. So we've got obviously this big slug of warm air, and when we eventually get a front to come through here on Sunday, that could spark thunderstorms here into portions of the plains and even into Iowa, maybe even into Illinois and Wisconsin and southeastern Minnesota as the day goes on, or into the night rather, for Sunday. I want to go ahead and look at the, let's see here, we're going to need the GFS. I want to go ahead and look at the GFS model. We're going to keep that yellow banana on there for right now because that's indicating where the Storm Prediction Center believes the greatest risk for severe weather is on Sunday. And I want to go ahead and look at the temperature. Now, give me just a moment here while I kind of pick and choose and guess where we're going to want to pick here on the forecast model to get to Sunday. Let's give this a second to load up because it looks like the 18Z GFS is not complete yet. So we're going to have to go back with the 12Z. Let's go out to hour 81 here. So Sunday at 4 p.m. Now, I was talking to you folks about that pattern flip. What we're looking at right now, this is ground level or 2 meters above ground level, so about 6 feet, so ground level. This is surface air temperatures. This is only a model. Now, this can change and this will change, so don't take this too seriously. As we get closer, we'll know it. Don't, if we pick out an area, for example, right here over Oklahoma City, This is 86.3 degrees. I highly doubt you're going to see 86.3. You might see 80, you might see 90. You're going to see somewhere around that 86. So again, the farther out or the farther away we are from Sunday at 4 p.m. here, the less accurate that is. So as we get closer into tomorrow and then Saturday, this will become more accurate and be able to switch to higher resolution models. But you can see here, now we're getting this cooler air invading the western U.S., that pattern flip there, and we've got that cooler air that we see right now over the northeast exiting. Obviously, currently we've got that warm air here over the U.S., and that's going to stay for a couple of days. So a lot of people that were upset with those colder temperatures and that taste of, well, I don't know if I could call it winter because 40 degrees in Wisconsin is not winter. It's barely fall. But we'll call it winter, a taste of winter, is probably pretty happy seeing this slug of warm temperatures here, even back into the southeast. Southeast warms up to more seasonable temperatures as to be expected. Now, this is why I'm expecting potentially some severe weather. If we go ahead and take this out to, let's say, hour 90, it's going to be looking at Sunday, or well, extremely early Monday morning. You can obviously see it's later at night, so we've got more diffuse temperatures here. But you can see what's happening with this colder air, okay? It's moving off to the east. That's going to be that cold front or cool front. I guess in this case, it's definitely a cold front. We've got 40s behind it and 70s, so about a 30-degree temperature drop will occur with this front. This could ignite some severe thunderstorms somewhere along this area, possibly a squall line moving off to the east with the progression of this front. Now, eventually, as that moves across several days here, I'm going to go ahead and loop this, give this just a minute to load because this is a lot of data that it's got to buffer and render here. And this is the Radar Omega app, folks. This is GFS model, the global forecast model. We're basically running a loop from today all the way out to, see, this goes out to the 30th, for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. This is all the way out until Saturday the 5th. Okay, and I know this is moving really quickly here, but you can see the progression of temperatures here, and several cold fronts here are going to move through the area. We've got our primary one here that we're watching. We've got another secondary one down here later on. And then look what happens, guys. As we get into November here, toward the end of the loop here, cool air everywhere. So we're getting into more of a fall pattern here. This happens quite a bit this time of year where we get these more drastic temperature changes. You know, we go from hot to cold, and that's pretty much just what we can expect. Now, a couple of problems that I'm seeing here with the potential severe weather setup on Sunday is the potential lack of moisture. So a lot of you folks that follow the channel know that we need moisture, we need temperature, we need instability to get these severe thunderstorms, which means that we need to have, you know, a reasonable temperature to allow for lift and buoyancy in the air. And of course, we need that dew point to be a little bit on the high side. These purples out here in the Atlantic, those indicate higher dew points. These greens indicate a little bit lower. And then, of course, these tans, that is dry air. And, of course, associated with that cold front, that's a 28-degree dew point behind that cold front. And we're looking at potentially a 55, so mid-50s degree dew point. So it's a pretty sharp cold front going to be coming through. Now, what is the dew point? The dew point is basically just the moisture in the air. It's basically, if you imagine your lawn, this is the temperature at which you would get dew to form in your lawn, basically. So that's just a way we measure atmospheric moisture. And this is, of course, at the surface as well. As we go up higher in the atmosphere, that changes. But a lot of our moisture comes from the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, about all of it does. So as we get potentially some moisture streamers coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, if we can get more of this Gulf moisture that we see down here to transport a little bit farther north, then we could be looking at a more potent severe weather event. If that doesn't happen and we deal with drier temperatures, then we will be looking at a little bit more average or a lesser severe weather event. So hopefully, for the sake of anybody that lives in that severe weather prone area on Sunday, hopefully we do have a lower chance at severe weather and, of course, that drier air. But we're going to see, you know, several severe weather potential days here over the next couple of weeks, I would imagine. That's just typically what happens this time of year. It's kind of that second peak season in parts of October here. If we go to Sunday at 10 p.m., it almost looks like this cold front has sharpened a little bit there. But you can see still warm, moist temperatures, even a pocket there of some enhanced, maybe even 60-degree dew points out ahead here in central Iowa. So it's possible, if this severe weather event does maintain its intensity overnight, that it will have enough fuel to be ongoing for a couple of hours past sunset. So we're not only going to have to be watching Sunday afternoon, we're going to watch Sunday afternoon all the way up until midnight, 1, 2 a.m. possibly, as if we do get one of those eastward progressing squall lines there, we could have a wind producing event. It's too early to really tell storm mode, but typically with these cold fronts, sometimes they tend to crash, which basically means that they're moving really quickly and end up undercutting. So these storms are taking their warm, moist fuel from out ahead of them, out in this pool of air, feeding up into the storms, which are back here. If that cold front comes through and cuts that off, now the storms are unfortunately feeding on, well, unfortunately for the storm, not for the folks underneath them, that storm is feeding off of cooler, drier air, and, well, it's just, they're not going to survive as long. So there's a couple of problems with the severe weather possibility that I see on Sunday. I want to go ahead and compare that to the Euro model. This is basically another model achieving the same thing, but it's run off of different computers. It's run by a different agency, or a different group of folks. It's got different parameters it's looking at. It's basically just not the same model, but it's looking at the same atmospheres. So obviously, we would expect to see some similarities. Now, if we don't see some similarities, well, that just complicates the forecast even more. But luckily here, I am seeing some similarities with that cold front here, roughly at about the same time here, at about 4 p.m. on Sunday, of course, tracking off to the east into our risk zone there. We are forecasting slightly higher temperatures. It looks like, by the way, folks, this inspector tool right here in the middle is sampling the temperatures right in the bullseye there, if anybody's wondering as I pan around. We're looking at possibly up into the 90s here in Texas. Look at that, into Mexico, possibly 92 in parts of Mexico. Looks like the Gulf Coast states here are going to stay around 70 to 80 degrees, of course, with the exception there of the peninsula of Florida, which could get into the mid 80s. But we are seeing that colder. Okay, we are seeing that colder, drier air here into the western U.S. with possibly just 40-degree temperatures. And it looks like California, which has been kind of warm here, is going to be finally cooling down a little bit there with temperatures into the 60s around 4 p.m. on Sunday. But, as I was saying, we do have ample temperatures, it looks like, for severe weather and convection to occur over parts of the plains. So, without getting into this too technically, the areas that I would watch for on Sunday would be this area right here, as highlighted, I would say, perfectly by the Storm Prediction Center. And, of course, on Monday, guys, I don't know right now. I don't want to get too in-depth and give anybody, I guess what I would say, false positives or false negatives. But you can see our weather maker here. This is the 500 millibar flow. These intense winds here moving up, kind of sort of that ski jump effect with this trough. At least it's kind of that U, like the letter U shape trough kind of sort of coming here. Bullseyeing right there to the Des Moines area. Folks, I don't want to alarm anybody, but it does look like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we could have another round of severe weather in, I think it's safe to say, somewhere in here. I don't want to hone in on that too much right now. We could actually use the GFS and the Euro to do so. We could get a little bit tighter on the resolution. We could look out a little bit farther, but I don't want to do that just for the sake of simplicity. Let's do an update tomorrow, a live update from right here tomorrow at, well, evening. It'll be later. It'll probably be 9, 10 p.m. But we'll do an update tomorrow evening, and we're going to talk about that because we'll be getting a little bit closer in range with these models. Thanks, everybody, for joining me in the chat. Let's see. We got a super chat there. Will central Wisconsin get severe weather on Sunday? I would highly doubt that. Probably not. Right now, primarily the area for severe weather. I'm going to highlight my own area. And it's this purple circle, okay? And the only reason I'm highlighting that beyond what the SPC says is because they got to draw the line somewhere. They will likely move this area in and out, expand it, shrink it, etc. But if you live anywhere around or near this yellow slight risk, the banana, actually kind of looks like an ear. I don't know what I'd call that, but that shape, if you live anywhere, basically Topeka to Sioux Falls, southern Minnesota, Iowa, the majority of Iowa, northwest Missouri, anybody that I've highlighted here, you need to be watching out for potential severe weather. I think that the strongest or the most likely potential for severe weather is going to be hail and wind, probably wind if we get a squall line. There's still the potential we could get some isolated supercells. If we do get some supercells ahead of this line, we could maybe squeeze out a tornado threat. But again, it's just a little bit too early. If anybody's telling you exactly what's going to happen, they're lying to you. They're wrong. They're just guessing. Okay, and I don't want to do that. Okay, I just want to state the facts here. So I think that probably by tomorrow or Saturday, we will probably have a better idea what's going to happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and of course possibly beyond. Let's see here. Real quick, I'm going to go ahead and insert an advertisement here. Slight advertisement. I do want to mention, everybody, if you are just joining, go ahead and hit the little thumb up like button. It'll help promote our video in the algorithm. And I want to go ahead and show you our website real quick because I need to start promoting this more. What is going on here? This is our website here. You can go to seethestorm.com. I did pin it in the description or in the channel chat. So if you actually go to our website here, we've got lots of options. You can actually help support live storm chasing. You can buy merchandise. Sponsorship opportunities are opening. You can become a YouTube member right here. We've got a link to our friends over at Radar Omega. And of course, our YouTube channel links here. Down here, we've got a way you can contact us. Join our Discord server, which is basically a community chat. You can talk to your friends that you meet here in the live stream, later on in the chat. And of course, up here we have links to our latest video. Right here, our wall calendar. We're super proud of this because everybody was saying they needed one. We did go ahead and make a 2023 wall calendar. It's priced at $19.99. Yeah, it's a little expensive for a calendar, but we only make like $3 on this thing. Profit, but whatever. The price will go up a little bit here after October or November, whatever I said. I don't know. But this does feature photos from 2022. There's one from 2021 just because I really like it, but it does have primarily photos from 2022. And every single photo, except for that one from 2021, was featured in a live stream. And there is a little description here with each photo, with each month that describes, what it was, what happened, and, what live stream it was on. We did add a couple of items too here. This is my favorite. If anybody doesn't understand this reference, I'm going to tie this back to this live stream here in a second, so hang with me. So Fort Stockton, Texas is just always seems, every time we storm chase there, we almost always see tornadoes, but we always see beautiful storms. We were just there the other day. We saw a prolific lightning show, beautiful storm. So we went ahead and made the Fort Stockton shirt. Now, if you're not a weather enthusiast, you're looking at this and you think this is the dumbest thing you've ever seen. However, storm chasers will love this shirt. At least anybody that's familiar with Fort Stockton or chasing in Texas is really going to like this shirt. So we went ahead and, of course, made a tornado out of the tee. I'm super proud of that. That's about 4 hours went into just figuring out how to make that tornado look like a tee. So, but we do have other things here on our website, of course, and you are welcome to purchase these. We are adding more. We've got stickers, t-shirts, lots of stuff. If you want to go ahead and suggest things for our website, let me know. Fill out that contact form. If you want something specific too, we can go ahead and probably get it made. We are selling some framed photos and stuff on there as well. So thank you, everybody. All of those funds do go to supporting this channel because we'll talk about the ridiculous situation here in a minute. I'll go ahead and look at the chat. My computer is doing some strange things. Seems to be doing okay for me, I think. It could be YouTube. Weird seeing the SPC page not having a risk area. I know. It's really weird to see a no thunderstorm forecast here. I haven't seen that in a long time. Will the Mexican tornado affect U.S. weather? I'm not thinking we're going to see any tornadoes in Mexico yet. How many members do we have now? I don't know. Hang on, let me look this up on my other monitor here. So you don't see my personal information. We have a total of 214 members. 214 members. Thank you, everybody, for being members. Oh, hurricane, not tornado. Okay. I was gonna say the Mexican tornado. I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at that little hurricane down here, or well, tropical storm at the moment. I'm glad somebody brought that up. Let's see here. So this is okay. I have a confession to make. I don't even know what the name of this storm is. I didn't even realize this was down here. This is Roslyn, and she. It is at the 4 p.m. advisory. Let's see here. We got 45-mile-per-hour sustained winds with gusts up to 60 miles per hour. It's at 15.5 north, negative 103 west for latitude, and a minimal central pressure there of 1,004 millibars. Not really too potent. Expected to be a Category 2 storm, moving north-northeast by the 23rd. So this storm here is taking this cone of uncertainty, eventually going to take it up into Mexico. Go ahead and take a look here at the long wave IR satellite loop here. This is using Radar Omega. You can actually access a lot of this data here with some of the monthly subscriptions. And if you're not interested in it, you can just download the app, purchase the app, and utilize Radar Omega that way. It is kind of my app of choice. That's why we partner with them. We will not be deploying any Cyclone ports or Project Mesovort units on this storm, unfortunately. But this thing is, you can see the center here, right there. And some convection kind of exploding right there. Kind of a lopsided storm. It doesn't look super well ventilated, but it does look like it's got that look that it could intensify. So I don't know how that's going to have an impact on the weather here in the U.S., but I would infer that possibly some residual moisture for it could move into parts of southern Texas. It definitely could have some influence on the U.S. as, you know, weather is connected. So even when we get a hurricane moving out to sea or nowhere near us, oftentimes it will create some U.S. trouble. But I did forget to mention as well, it just got brought to my attention, there is a 5% off. I know 5%, big deal. I mean, like, I'm not going to BS anybody. Like, okay, 5%, big deal. But 5% is 5% because we only make like $5 on some of these items. In the store, it's 5% off right now. It's automatically added to the cart. So until the end of the live stream. But it's really hard for me to hype up a 5% sale. Big deal. Anyway. You will never hear me talk my products up to something they aren't. But they are, we do have some cool shirts that we are adding in there. There's one that involves cats, I think, that should be in there. If it's not in there, it should be in there shortly. Did you know they're making a sequel to Twister? I'm sure it'll be terrible. I mean, not to be negative, but it might be great. I don't know. 5% off is better than 0% off. That is true. Dan was a troll. That doesn't surprise me. Will Northwest Iowa see severe storms? It's possible. Northwest Iowa is indicated here in that 15% risk area that you see here. This is for Sunday. This is day 4 for Sunday. Of course, Northwest Iowa being here. You are inside that yellow risk area there for Northwest Iowa. Yeah, the original Twister movie was okay. I don't get into it that much because I don't know. It's kind of like I feel like I do that all the time. I don't maybe if I watched it before I started storm chasing, it would be a different deal. But I'm just not. I just can't really get into it too much. Kay just made a big order in the store. Thanks, Kay. I think I saw that. I'm trying to go through the chat a little bit here. Justin, you'll be in Sioux Falls. That's good. Yeah, you won't be too far at all. Let's see here. I am hoping to be out there anyway. The vehicle is currently being fixed again. Um, again, again, for like the fifth time. So to give everybody a little bit of an update, what's going on. So I really upset some people apparently by making the comment of my vehicle's a piece of crap. A lot of people thought that that was me begging for stuff or begging for somebody to buy me a car. No, like it's me just stating a fact. Like my vehicle is a piece of crap. Like we're working on it's going to be less of a piece of crap. You know, it's only temporarily a piece of crap. It's only a piece of crap until you get it fixed. So we're at for the month of October now. We are at almost $6,000 worth of repairs. So as you can imagine, that took a massive bite out of the monthly budget, along with equipment and everything. So we have literally drained the October 20th or 21st to November 22nd budget to like zero. So I am not entirely sure how much we are going to be out for October. However, I'm sorry, October into November. However, statistically speaking, this is our slower time of the year. So you can count on me being right here covering this stuff, and I will be out for what I can. But we do have to take it a little bit easy here over the next month or so because, folks, there is a misconception that like I have a sponsor or something that literally like just hands me this stuff. I don't. 75% of everything we do is funded by you folks in the channel. So that's where that comes from. So we are working on getting everything back up. We're doing a little bit of preventative here. So it's not a completely a breakdown here, but trying to do some preventative. Should have the vehicle back tomorrow, but doing some preventative so that it does not leave us stranded somewhere because that would be terrible. There's another storm chaser that I heard that drives the same vehicle as me and all of a sudden is having literally the same problems that I had in the exact same order, so it ain't me. It ain't me anyway. Let's see here. Any interest in background members video on all you need to get ready for a chase? Yeah, Sharon, I'm trying to work on that. I've been waiting to for a storm chase, preferably where I'm leaving from home or leaving from a hotel in the morning and going directly to a target area to film that. But that is something that's in the works here, and I'm probably going to try to do some more content creation here from now until the end of the month. I was actually working on a video, but the footage is on the SD card that's in my car. And it's not here, so that's a slight problem. Let's see here. If I got a bigger vehicle, we'd have to watch for height clearances. That's true, but I don't really worry about it too much because honestly, it's so high right now. I can't go under anything that's over 8.5 foot anyway, so I just kind of got used to it. I could Bigfoot chase, that's true. So I had this idea here, folks, and we're going to get back to the weather in just a minute. But I did have an idea. I'm not going to do this, but I had an idea. I don't know if we've got any lawyers in the chat, but maybe we could get a lawyer here for some assistance. But I thought about, so I watched some trailer on YouTube for Undercover Boss or whatever last night, and I'm like, you know what we could do that would probably get a ton of views and fun to storm chasing for like the next 10 years? We could go, well, or maybe myself and one other person on the channel, we could go hidden camera infiltrate like a place that's terrible to work for. So we go find a terrible employer, you know, somewhere that people just say it really sucks. You know, we go get jobs there basically with the intention of just seeing how terrible it is. We hidden camera it somehow, possibly live stream it. You know, we infiltrate, we go in to these terrible places and we're going to, or we would, you know, just expose how awful these places are. Now we run into the problem. Now Wisconsin's a one-party consent state for video and audio recording. Run into the problem with privacy issues, so we're probably not going to do it. However, I thought, you know, the one way that we could ensure funding for storm chasing for the next probably 10 years would be to literally go into some of these terrible places to work that people just hate and just infiltrate them and then basically just see how long it takes to get fired. I always thought that'd be kind of a fun time. I am probably going to upset some people saying that, but I thought that'd be kind of fun. Bigfoot chasing. Yeah, a lot of people have told me to do that. My old ambulance company, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Undercover storm chaser boss, exactly. Exactly. But if you are just joining us, we are watching a slight risk potentially for severe weather that could be coming up here on Sunday. I do want to go ahead and... Oh no, is my keyboard failed again? No, we're good. I want to go ahead and show you a real quick... I don't know if the computer is going to handle this or not. I want to go ahead and show you a real brief look at the 360 video that I posted here today. And this just confuses me. Like, this got like no views at all, which really kind of surprises me. We got like 700 views. That is terrible. But I want to go ahead and look at a quick preview here. So I did post a 360 video. This is the damage on Pine Island, Florida, of taken from my 360 camera here. This is in low resolution right now because I'm trying to make it easier for the computer to render. Obviously, you can view it in higher resolution, but we put a camera you can see literally on top of my car from time to time. Ignore the anemometer. Whoops. But you can actually pan around as we drive. Well, I guess it was because I didn't have the live stream going. But Pine Island, Florida was a very hard-hit community, and this is some minor damage here we roll up through, but I'm trying to go back and find... Of course, now it doesn't look significant. Gosh darn it. I'm trying to find the significant parts here. It doesn't look as significant on video as it did in person, but you can actually pan around here, and I'm just using my mouse. You can go all the way up. If you're using your phone, you can like do one of these and like search with your phone, or you can use your finger. But this is really cool. I try to do this for storms also. I think it's awesome to do. I want to go ahead here and show you Chris Smith's mom's house. Chris, Florida. His mom's house is the one that Reed and him actually rode out the hurricane in. Let's see, there we go. So actually here I'm turning this road here in St. James City. This is the south side of Pine Island. If you look directly out over the water, you can actually see Fort Myers Beach. Now this really sucks. The sun ray really screwed up the stitching line here. But if you look at, these are the more well-built houses. But if you see, they've got a lot of lower damage here. These green sheets, they're all condemned now, actually. So these are all ones that are unsafe to enter. A lot of Pine Island is mobile home community, but some of the south side, like towards St. James City here, is a little bit better built homes. And this here, you can see sand on the ground. Guys, this is a road. I did ask Chris, this is a paved road. Right here, paved road. Covered in sand. It's like 3-4 inches deep of sand. And you're going to see Chris's mom's house here. And the top snapped off with palm trees. Guys, it takes a lot to damage palm trees. Here's Chris's SUV with a blown out window. Here's Reed's Subaru taking a nap in the ditch. But this is his mom's house. This is where him and Reed rode out the hurricane. Obviously, new construction. I believe it's 4 or 5 years old. Oh no. It is concrete structure. But you can see, we'll go ahead and let this play for a second. I want to show you kind of the mess that is around here. You can see in the driveway here how thick that sand is. 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of sand. Storm surge brought a lot up. And see just pieces everywhere. Now, this may not look significant. There you can see how deep the sand is in some of these places on the pavement. This may not look significant to just the regular person, but folks, remember, these are literally concrete stilt homes. Okay, this is a stilt home. It's got some foundation around. It's not a true stilt home, but most of these are, well, in fact, they all are stilt homes. You know, they're all elevated. They may have a garage at the bottom, but they are elevated, so obviously they're not going to sustain that damage. Most of them are concrete. But folks, holy cow, just the amount of debris was washed into this area, and people had already began cleaning up. Was absolutely insane traveling through here. I did not roll the live stream because I didn't want anything sensitive to come through. But you can see all these, so much tree damage, folks. Just all over the place, everything laid down. We pull in here to a damaged mobile home that actually had all the roofs off of it, or all the roofing off of it. I want to go ahead and see if I can find that. I mean, obviously, you folks can go watch the video yourself, but just an incredible amount of damage here in Pine Island. I'll show you where that is here momentarily. But you can see, look at this mobile home park here, guys. Just, I wish I could zoom in on the YouTube video, but just everything down here, it's shredded. Like, there wasn't a single one of these manufactured double wides, single wides, whatever you want to call them. Not a single one of these was not damaged. This is like the most intact structure that I saw. Okay, and it's missing a roof. But we look over here, I mean, they're missing a roof. They're up here on the roof trying to patch it. It's just, a lot of this is a lost cause. They've got debris everywhere. And this is honestly how a lot of this is still like this down there in Pine Island. It's going to take them a long time to clean up. So these folks are still in need of help. We were able to help some folks out a little bit while we were down there as well, and try to make things a little bit better. Damage total, I don't know. It's probably be a while before we hear anything official, though. I'm interested to hear what the actual monetary damage total is also. Yeah, like the amount of palm tree damage there is actually impressive too, because it takes a lot to mess those up. Am I interested in tornado history? Usually. Let's go ahead and actually, let's just use Radar Omega for everything so we can actually see what's going on a little bit better in detail. I want to go ahead and show you guys some of the fire weather potential. Okay, so today we've actually got the potential for some fire weather here. Should probably talk about this too. Got a critical risk for fire weather, which is not the highest risk, but that is something to be mindful of. Dry conditions and breezy wind will cause potential for some fires here in, well, a good majority of Montana. This elevated risk of wildfires here, that's not as concerning, but it's definitely not something you want to be messing around with. If anybody's got any outdoor burning to do in that area, which I doubt anybody watching here does, but that would definitely not be an area to do it. Even a small area here where dry and breezy conditions are causing potential for some elevated wildfire risk. Let's go ahead and look at a couple of days out as well here. Potential, again, pretty much centered over the southern half of Wyoming tomorrow. This red area here of critical fire weather danger. Those are the risks that you really want to pay attention to. This one down here could become problematic just because of the sheer population and the openness there from Elk City all the way up to Emporia, Kansas. With that elevated fire weather, it's going to be pretty dry there and windy. Now, do keep in mind that that area did just receive a pretty good drenching the other night from some of those severe storms. So that fire weather could be a little bit localized, but of course that wasn't enough to push off an entire exclusion here from a recommendation of not burning outdoors. Really don't want to mess with that because you can get wildfires this time of year, especially with some of the dry crops, the dry grass. We do see a lot of brush fires here in the fall, even up here in the Midwest. Let's go ahead and look at the drought monitor. Let's take a look at the drought today too. What's the drought monitor at right now? So obviously these red areas here, that's exceptional drought. So the darker, well, I guess the brighter. The dark reds are higher fire weather, or I'm sorry, higher drought. These yellows are less dry. But look at the drought, guys. Isn't this crazy? Like, this is depressing to see. And this area here, this pocket of dryness in the central part of the country, We haven't seen a whole lot of severe weather there or storms there lately, so you can obviously imagine the precipitation's been pretty low, but the drought monitor is high right now, guys. Look at so many people are at least abnormally dry, if not even potentially in the moderate drought stage. This tan kind of peach color here. Lots of folks here in the moderate drought. Obviously here, the famous pocket here in the southwest, we all know about that, but not a lot of people are talking about this one here in the central U.S. So that's obviously where a lot of these fire weather forecasts are being prompted to appear from. It's unfortunate, folks. Hopefully we get some rain to relieve that, but it looks like some relief might be coming with that potential line of storms that moves through, and then maybe even some severe weather or at least some strong storms with some drenching rainfall into next week. If anybody's got any questions or anything, we can definitely go ahead and put them in the chat. I'll try to get to them. What time should we would be expecting severe weather in Des Moines? It'll be afternoon. It's just a little bit too early to hone in on that. We'll start knowing a little bit more tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon and evening. But I would expect probably western Iowa into central Iowa would most likely be peaked sometime after 2, 3, 4 p.m. It's possible this could turn into a Sunday night event too. So just, I don't know just yet. Monitor your local sources. And of course, I'll try to update everybody again tomorrow. Kind of a fluid situation right now. Some of the models are indicating that this cold front might be slower to progress eastward than others, which would of course slow down the timing on that and push a lot of this back into Monday. So a little bit of it's up in the air yet. Do you think I'll ever write a book about how storm chasing is impacted by life? No, because I don't think I could sit down long enough to write a book. I don't think I could do that. Saw winter storm watches up. We should probably take a peek at that. How do I do this again? Oh, yep, we sure do. What do we have over here? Winter storm watches out west, folks, for potential snowfall. Look at this. Take a something here from the Billings area. It's our winter storm watches up in the mountains. Impacts here. 1 to 2 inches, or I'm sorry, 1 to 2 feet of snow are possible with wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour. Up in the Beartooth Mountains there, the higher elevation. Recreation in the high country could be impacted by heavy accumulating snow, and roads could become snow covered. Winter storm watches down there as well, even into Utah with 6 to 12 inches of snow possible. Saturday evening through Sunday night, heaviest snow will be expected on Saturday night. Snow is going to result in periods of travel difficulties, especially for seasonal routes that are still open. Backcountry access will become treacherous and should be taken into consideration for hikers, hunters, and other recreators. So these blue outlines right here, highlighted here by my purple pencil, are in a winter storm watch here for Sunday. It looks like afternoon through Monday. So we could see some snow, some impactful snow here with this system coming through. Whoops, don't want to do that. Let's get those winter watches and warnings off there. I'll go ahead and show you the WPC. Take a look at, this is kind of a cheat that I like to use. So this is how I try to stay up to date with what's going on in the world of weather without having to do a whole lot. So the geniuses at the Weather Prediction Center in somewhere it's in Maryland release these weekly these weather hazard maps here. They usually go for a couple of days with these national forecast charts. So if you look up here, we've got excessive rainfall, heavy snow, and icing risks. Okay, right now we see heavy snowfall risk. We got a slight risk here on the 20th, so let's go take a look at that. Looks like the snow is predicted to be confined here to the northwest parts of the Cascades here in Washington. and maybe up into the portions of the upper Rockies there into Canada. But as we go on with time, for example, here is Saturday evening, the risk for at least 4 inches of, oops, there we go. The risk of 4 inches of snow or more, indicated there by those bullseyes with the dark blue, does spread farther south. We're going to go ahead and go to Monday evening. And you can see this entire area where those winter storm watches are could be impacted here by some impactful snow. I love these maps. Weather Prediction Center is a severely underrated website here, and this is just a 72-hour forecast aggregation here. The highest probability of snow over 2 inches here occurring right here in this general vicinity. Well, Arkansas gets severe weather on Tuesday and Wednesday. It's possible. I don't want to get into it too much. I think I know the answer, but I'm not 100% sure. So just monitor. I think we'll know more about that tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if early in the morning the Storm Prediction Center puts out another 15% for Monday somewhere. But Arkansas definitely should be watching, because that cold front as it sweeps through is going to be impacting that very warm air that's going to be in place. So yes, Arkansas, really anybody that's got these warmer temperatures probably needs to be just mindful of it. So I can't really give you an answer just yet, but give us till tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, for sure Saturday morning, and we'll have a little bit better idea, I think. Chat's going by really fast here, so I'm just trying to answer what I can. Or what I see. Let's see. Yeah, there is absolutely nothing going on. Like, it's super quiet. Super quiet. Least favorable state to drive through, Illinois. Absolutely Illinois. What do we got over here? There's something over here. Let's go look at some weather out here in wherever that is. The South China Sea. Take a peek at that. I don't know what else to talk about, so. Gotta stay live here for a while. Got bills to pay here, so we'll figure it out. Let's see here. Smalls is in there with a super chat. I think you're over in Iowa, aren't you? You'll probably get some severe weather here over the next couple of days. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. As always, see you in almost every single live stream. What am I looking at here? What am I trying to do? Eastern Pacific? I don't even know how to do this, guys. That's not the Eastern Pacific. I don't even know what sector to use. Good Lord. Why is my brain hurting? Maybe we don't have specific sectors. Regardless, okay, let's take a peek at the NHC. You can tell this is out of my forecast area. It's not even there either. Okay, so this is Tropical Depression 25. It's forecast to be, looks like a tropical storm here again. And yeah, you can see we're a little bit out of range here. We're over here, and if we're going to go ahead and intercept the storm, we're going to have to fly into well, right here, and I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But we do have tropical activity here happening with a 45-mile-per-hour gusting tropical depression. It looks like prior to landfall, it'll be a 60-mile-per-hour gusting tropical depression here on the 25th. Let's see what city that's going to be near, if there even is one. Da Nang. Looks like they're in trouble. They might get some tropical activity. You don't think China wants me in my airspace? Or in their airspace? I don't think so either. I guess I got to brush up on my Western Pacific forecasting skills. Time for a storm chasing plane? We could do that. could use a storm chasing plane. Do I work for the National Weather something? No, I don't. I am solely myself. Do I see anything in the near future that was worth mentioning? Not besides what I mentioned about the fire weather and then the potential severe weather on Sunday, possibly into Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. If you're talking like long range models, no, I'm really not good at long range forecasting. I just don't spend enough time. I don't get enough practice doing it. If it's inside of 4 days, 0 to 4 days, I'm pretty good with it. But anything beyond that, I'm just not super well with. Nothing is really looking alarming to me by any means, but I would expect, of course, another warm up and a cool down. We're going to see this pattern here quite a bit here over the next week or two, as we often do this time of year, where it gets really warm and then really cold, because we get these sharp cold fronts. We get some warm air to come in here, and then, of course, we get that cold front comes and flushes it all out. So I would just expect some temperature fluctuations here. But I don't think that we're going to be looking at any sort of massive severe weather outbreak or anything. No Category 5 tornado or Category 5 hurricanes or anything slamming into Florida. Nothing like that. We could see some isolated or some semi-regional or somewhat bigger than local severe weather events that are localized, enhanced locally. So what I mean by that, we could get some statewide severe weather events, but I don't think we're going to see any multi-state tornado outbreaks or anything. I just climatologically, I doubt it, but I also don't think that we're going to have the proper kinematics and thermodynamics for that. Like I said, a lot of the problem, the reason that the severe weather threat is a little bit lower than it could be for the next couple of days is because, or the next couple of days starting Sunday, is because we are questioning whether we're going to have enough of that moisture coming up out of the Gulf. A lot of dry air out there, so that's going to definitely be a limiting factor. Does Radar Omega have a wildfire smoke map? I don't know, Justin. I would have to play around. I don't know. That is a good question. I have not needed to mess with that yet. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining me here. I think we're going to go ahead and let's see here what we got. Let's see, what else should we, what other crazy stuff should we take a look at here? A couple of things, too, that I want to go ahead and mention that I'm working on. Like I said, I am working on trying to reduce costs of live streaming a little bit. So I am working with a developer. We are trying to make an application or a phone app that will allow cellular, well, not cellular bonding necessarily, but bonding over cellular connections. So there's an app out there called Speedify. I don't like it. A lot of storm chasers. Daniel Shaw actually uses it with success, but he's using it in a little bit different way. There's basically a concept out there of bonding multiple connections. So your cell network connection, your Wi-Fi connection, and whatever else you can plug into your phone. I'm going to give you a little bit of sneak preview here, such as with an adapter, a USB stick, well, pretend this is an Android, and then plugging that in. Obviously a little bit cleaner. This is concept only, obviously not final production, but with these USB modems, you can easily increase the network capacity and bond using SRT LA. We can bond those video signals. So that's what I'm working on right now. There's another group trying to do it, and I picked out some flaws, and we're trying to do it. I am hoping that it's something that we can expand to the rest of the IRL community. We just happen to be doing it at the same time another group is doing it. I'm trying to accomplish the same goal here or whatever. But part of the problem is, I lug around my live view. It costs me like $1,500 a month to be streaming with this live view. I mean, this YouTube channel barely covers the cost of streaming. Streaming is expensive. So, I have some custom data plans here that I've used, that I've gotten from Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Viero, US Cellular, and Appalachian Wireless, all those carriers, and basically gotten business plans that allow actual unlimited data. These Inseego USB 88 sticks are phenomenal. These have excellent modems, excellent antennas, great signal to noise ratio. They will work a little bit under the noise floor of the signal as well. So seriously, for a cheap little unit, these things are excellent. So if we can basically combine several of these into an active, now this is a passive, but an active or power applied USB hub that is, let's say, in a backpack or just in a small pouch, like a purse style type thing. Run a USB cable up to our phone, preferably a good quality phone like a Samsung Note or a Pixel. Run a battery pack into it, and then completely disable, otherwise we're going to overheat the Wi-Fi and the cellular modems in the phone, and strictly run off of these. Let's say you put 4 of these together. You've got 2 AT&T, 2 Verizon, and a T-Mobile, or maybe a bunch of T-Mobile and a Viero. You can literally create potentially what could be a game changer for the live streaming industry, because typically to do that you need to have a 6-channel live view or an 8-channel live view or even just a 4-channel live view. But guys, this stuff's a little bit gimmicky. It's a pain in the ass. Like, nobody wants to do it. Everybody just wants to pull out their phone and stream. Yeah, this still costs money. All these data plans add up to be $700 a month, but still, that's cheaper than $1,500. And if just the average person that wants to stream on the weekends, they might only need 2 of these and 2 plans. They might not even need an unlimited data plan. They might be able to walk into AT&T and say, "Give me your highest data plan," get the 100 gigabyte plan on a modem thing, plug 2 of them into a pass or an active hub, and use this technology on a very low subscription fee and a small app purchase to power their stream. So I'm pretty excited with that. We're going to be working on building that. Actually, I'll go get my live stream backpack here and show you a little bit with what I'm using right now. But the goal is to build something that I can use in extreme conditions here. And hopefully the timeline on the Gantt chart is within 18 months. Hopefully 18 months from now, we can market it, sell it, maybe get a little bit of money back. But regardless, at the very least, it'll be something I can use. Because out there streaming with 1 data connection, even 2 data connections, like 1 to fall back on, you've got to have a bonded connection, which is basically just using more than 1 connection at the same time. See here. Who has the best coverage? AT&T, hands down. Hands down, AT&T. Let me go get that bag. I'll show you what we're using right now. Okay, so this is the monstrosity that I have to wear or carry around with me. Hang on, I can do this a different way. Check this out. There we go. So this monstrosity has to be on my back. This thing weighs about, I don't know, 15 pounds. It's huge. There is a giant battery in here. This is slightly taken apart because I had to borrow some of these modems for testing. But inside the bottom here is a battery. There's a modem in there. It's a huge battery, 50,000 milliamp battery. It's actually, I'm not able to legally take it on an airplane because it's classified as something that starts with a B and ends with amb. And I can't really say that because YouTube will probably throw a fit. But that's literally what the FAA classifies it as because it's of its capacities. Anyway, so that's that. This thing runs 3 modems. There's modems in here. Basically, what I did is I took a knife and cut a bunch of holes in this bag and sealed them up and basically made a custom bag. So this is HDMI and power. Oh no, we just lost the son of a gun. We just lost battery power in the camera. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, hang on, folks. I don't know what to do now. We just... gotta be kidding me. Okay, hold on, guys. We're going to switch to this really crappy backup camera. Hold on. This will not end well. It's going to look terrible. This camera is about to look absolutely terrible. I'm using the camera cord for testing something. So hold on here. Let me just add a web camera source into this. Oh my god, what am I doing? Video capture device. Okay, so this camera actually doesn't look that bad. Okay, so anyway, this actually doesn't look that bad for a cheap webcam. But so this is what I carry. This is essentially a HDMI and USB-C. It powers this GoPro. We can actually disconnect this inside and plug in our main camcorder. And then this pack is a solo, so it's got the live view in there. That live view has actually been modified. I had to remove the battery because it would overheat, but that's if I want to stream somewhere, I literally need that. And now that my camera has died, grab this phone from off here. This is essentially the plan here. We're going to take this thing and plug in this thing, and then plug in this thing several times. Put this in a much smaller bag with a smaller battery pack, and put this on a gimbal, and you're going to have an excellent way to live stream. It should work out really well. So that's kind of what I'm working on. Let me go ahead and put this back into place. Oh boy. Sorry everybody. I actually don't know how to fix this. That kind of works, right? Kind of. Oh no, I just screwed that up. All right, we're gonna roll with that for now. Guess this camera isn't that bad. A little bit wider. It's just not as good close up. But anyway, I'll work with it. It does look really bad though when I actually crop in up close. It does really poorly. The reason I don't use it is because I can't light myself properly. You'll notice here I get the shadows behind me with this camera. My other camera I don't. I need to get a separate cord for that camera. You're gonna switch carriers on Saturday because Verizon sucks. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Verizon's dog crap. I can't do anything with them. Period. Like they're horrible. I don't know what happened. Let me try to do something real quick here. I want to get our other scene fixed. Duplicate. All right, we are producing on the fly here, guys. This is a one-man show. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. We are literally producing a show. I don't know this. That's my McDonald's Sprite, not a sponsor. Tastes terrible. By the way, if anybody is interested in sponsorships here, we are starting to open up opportunities here for businesses. I actually had somebody reach out earlier today looking for a sponsorship. We are looking to work with some sponsors here in the future to hopefully help fund some of these projects. So here you've got a wide look here at the office. This is actually a lot smaller than people think. This light over here, and then this light down here create the backdrop. These things up here, they don't really do anything, but they look cool. This is a window. You can see one of my key lights here. I've got another one here. There's another one back there. Really not a whole lot going on in here. Never actually did give anybody a tour. Really not in here that much. For the amount I pay for this place, I probably need to be in here more. Alright, so we're going to leave this just like that for now. I'm not going to do much cropping. That's good enough for on the fly, but I did want to get the chat up there on screen. Verizon's good on the East Coast. I do agree for the most part. The problem that I have with Verizon is the capacity is terrible. Like, it just gets bogged down so easy. But it is better. I do agree it is better pretty much anywhere east of the Appalachians. Yeah, Verizon used to be great. It's not good, so much anymore. Hold on here. I got a bunch of notifications going on. Good Lord. Okay. Let me go ahead and queue something up here real quick. We must go to Twitter. Okay, so I want to go ahead and steal one of Radar Omega's posts here. If you guys are not following at Radar Omega here on Twitter, definitely go do that because they actually make some really nice content here. Really, really nice graphics. So we're going to go ahead and steal this here. It's a joke. I'm going to borrow their tweet here as they are a partner of ours. The day 4 severe weather outlook. I really did like I like this graphic here. Go ahead. I'm going to actually retweet this right now. Go follow at Radar Omega. They create tons of really cool graphics like this using the app. But again, they're just highlighting that risk area there on Sunday. Who runs Straight Talk? It depends. They have agreements with AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, so it depends what area you're in. T-Mobile's all right. The problem is they just don't work very well in a lot of areas. If you're in a populated area, it's fine, but if the area is not a very populated area, you're kind of tough luck. I'm so lost. So anyway, this is I don't know if anybody watches the Scotty Kilmer guy, but this is that guy that just screamed. We're gonna do a video regarding this car soon. That's why I had him up. Possible YouTube collaboration there, but that guy literally just goes around yelling at people's cars. It seems like. So possible YouTube collaboration inbound here. Anyway, I don't really have a whole lot else, folks. If anybody's got anything that we should be talking about, I guess we can go ahead and bring it up. But things are just kind of quiet here. Let's see here. Go ahead and check a couple of things. You do see our tier 2 and above YouTube members scrolling at the bottom. If you would like to be a tier 2 member, you can get your name or your YouTube handle there scrolling across the bottom. Is Saturday going to be a win? I don't think Saturday is going to be anything, personally. Sunday very well could be a wind event, though. I need to put this phone on the charger. How's the vehicle wrap coming? Well, I'll be real honest with you. Keeper of the Prairie Dogs, it's not going to be going too well for any time soon, that's for sure. Let me go ahead and show you folks our new vehicle design. Let me go ahead and find it. It's not going too well right now because I literally just blew all of our money on fixing the car. I mean, I'm not kidding. I literally blew all of my money on fixing the car. Literally blew all of my money on fixing the car. So the vehicle wrap is definitely not going to happen for a while now. But it's going to happen eventually. Just it's going to be a little while. Let me show you guys the new wrap design here. I don't have an actual picture of just the car on this computer, but I do have a picture with it in there. Check this out. So this is what it's gonna look like, roughly. Obviously, we're not showing the hood or the back, but it should look pretty nice here. I think, anyway. Fingers crossed. It'll come out looking really nice. I mean, it's got a hurricane on it, and hurricanes are cool, so I don't know what more else anybody would want. But keep in mind, if for some reason like the motor drops out of my car after I get it back from this repair, I'm just gonna push it off a cliff, light it on fire. We can apply this wrap to a different vehicle, but the amount of work that I'm putting into this car, literally like this week, that's happening, that costs me, that's literally drained my entire bank account. This car should probably not cause us any problems in the future, but it should look like this, or very close to it. We may have some things here, of course, because mine does not have the roof rack, but for the most part here, it'll look pretty darn close to this once it's out. It should look, I think it's going to look pretty nice. My friend Heath designed that. He's from Alabama. I think he did an excellent job with that. Coming in late, could I recap the severe threat? Sure, Debbie. So when the video's done, you should be able to play it back. But basically, long story short, Sunday, this area of severe weather here, son of a gun, I lost it. 1 second. I'll find it. Sunday, we're looking at a severe weather threat. And Radar Omega's got just an excellent graphic out for it. So let's go ahead. We're looking at this area here from Topeka all the way up into parts of Minnesota. Severe weather areas affected include Omaha, Council Bluffs, Bellevue, Fort Dodge, Papillion. Potential for severe weather Sunday afternoon into the evening. We could see some severe weather on Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday in other parts of the country, but it's just a little bit too soon for me to nail those down. So basically anywhere from northeast Kansas into extreme southwest Minnesota. Could be looking at a severe weather potential here on Sunday afternoon, maybe even into the overnight hours. No derecho? Hopefully not. I don't think it will be. Sapphire Moon thinks I should yeet the Ford. I agree. Could not argue that anymore. That's for sure. Completely agree with that. Yeah, hurricane season was slow this year. I think we're kind of done with tropical season for the most part. A lot of people like that design. That's good. I'm glad everybody likes it. Like I said, it's difficult doing all of this at once, so that's not like an urgent thing that needs to get done. So it's going to have to get put on the back burner. The goal is to do it by the end of the year, and I think we should be able to do that. But understand, folks, that I am really not entirely sure how much I'm going to be able to be out, period, for the next 4 weeks here. Essentially, what I've done is used the YouTube revenue here that's coming on October 21st, tomorrow, which basically will, because of course I get, my YouTube payment once a month. Basically, that was supposed to cover us until the 21st of November. Basically, I have to use all of that here to fix the car, literally all of it. So that's causing a bit of a problem. So that's going to mean from the 21st through November 21st, we are going to be pretty well screwed. But I've got a couple of tricks up my sleeve here that I think we're going to still be able to get out there at least a couple of times. Of course, severe weather season is slowing down a little bit. So regardless, if we're unable to be out for any event, I will be here and we will cover that event from the office regardless of what's going on, because I really need to use this office more. For the amount of money I pay to be here, I need to be here. Ford was a terrible choice to begin with. Well, the reason I went with it is because it fits the needs. The problem is, honestly, a lot of these newer cars, you get over 150,000, and you just problem after problem on them. It's extremely, extremely frustrating. But it is what it is. We have to look at the bright side of it. There will be less things to break on it. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to start reaching out to Ford, Chevy, Toyota, all these places, and seeing if somebody would cough up a vehicle, like as a sponsorship. I probably need to get on top of that. I am literally, guys. I'm just scrolling through Twitter right now. It's seeing if I missed anything today that we could talk about. Love the content. Screw the haters. Fair. Understandable. I agree. Folks, if you are just joining us, the entire video will be available for playback here at the end. Sometimes it's not available for playback while we're recording, but we are live right now, and we're kind of transitioning into the I'm bored, but I'm keeping the camera on phase. The haters can have the Ford. Yeah. It's I would tell you what though, one of the most depressing, not depressing, but one of the most discouraging things to have happen when you're running a small business like this, sole proprietorship. When you get ahead and then your number one asset takes a crap. So that was extremely discouraging, but we're trying to make the best out of it. Got to look at it this way. We're pretty much out of things. I'm not even going to say it, because if I say that, it's just going to break even more. But luckily, the more we replace on it, the less things that can break. So hopefully we'll be in a better place here by getting ahead of some of the issues. Some guy on Twitter just claimed that somebody found his address and ordered 5,000 pizzas to his house. I call BS on that. You know, we should start showing cat pictures. People love cat pictures. If anybody wants to tweet me their cat pictures, we'll put them up. You know, if anybody wants to tweet me something, we'll show it. Like, if you got a picture you want to show, just tweet it. I don't know what else to do. We're just kind of hanging out at this point. Here, I'll put my Twitter handle on screen. All right, there's my Twitter handle right there, no space. You can also go to seethestorm.com, find my Twitter page. If anybody's got some cat pictures or dog pictures or any picture that's not inappropriate, you can go ahead and tweet it. We'll show it. I don't know. This is turning into one of those BS hot tub streams on Twitch now, isn't it? Kimberly is supposed to attend a wedding in DSM. That's Des Moines, right? On Sunday. You should be okay unless it's not outdoors. If it's an outdoor wedding, you could end up running into some rain. Okay, we got our. All right, I have to queue up some of our cat pictures. All right, cat picture number 1. Okay, this is Nikki's cat. This is kind of the community cat. This cat lays like this all the time. Like, it lays flat on its stomach. It's really weird. I don't know why it does that. I think there's something wrong with it. It's really a stupid cat. Like, this cat is really stupid. And I hope I don't offend any, like, PETA people out there. I made a comment about cows being not very intelligent. I didn't even call them dumb. I just said they're not the most intelligent. And somebody literally sent me in my email, like, PETA literature. And I'm like, this is nothing to do with ethically treating animals. Like, I didn't abuse the cow. But anyway, this cat, I think it's kind of dumb. He gets in the way all the time. So that's Pickles. When that was exciting. See, we got like an extra 3 viewers while that happened too. So we just got to start showing cat pictures every single day. We're going to stream from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day, and we're literally just going to show cat pictures. Fishing in Kansas. I'm going to murder your name. Is it Janice? Janice? I think. I probably just screwed your name up. I'm sorry. She's fishing in Kansas. That's actually really pretty. We could just have show and tell all day. Holy cow, we have cat pictures rolling left and right. Is this really all we had to do was talk about cat pictures? Jenny's got it. That's a really fluffy cat. Is the cat's name Fluffy? Of course it is. Hold on one second. Check this out. We're gonna start quote tweeting. We're gonna spam Twitter with cat pictures. Check it out. We're gonna analyze some cat photos. That's actually a very fluffy cat. I give that an 8 out of 10. Keenan's on here with another orange cat. All these orange cats look the same. Like I feel like every single orange cat looks the same. And orange cats like have really big heads. I don't know if anybody's noticed that, but um, I feel like all orange cats look the same. That is a nice cat. 9 out of 10. I have no idea where I'm getting these ratings. I'm just giving cats ratings today, I guess. All right, hold on, guys. I can't drag this on the same stream. I have to make a new stream here. We're gonna try something. We're gonna make. I'm gonna take you through the process of making a live stream. Just hold on a second. I got a cool idea. I'm gonna make a thumbnail and a live stream, and it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be ridiculous. So I'm going to take you folks through the process of this. So hold on, because we're going to end this live stream, and we're going to move on to another one here. But I need to title it different, because if somebody sees live weather forecasts that come on and we're analyzing cat pictures, people are going to think we are very, very dumb. That's for sure. Hold on here. Let's go ahead. Let's do this here. Check this out. So if you are tweeting me cat pictures or other pictures, just hold on. All right, so we gotta go ahead and make the details. What are we gonna call this? Live IRL. Let's do IRL. Hanging out and looking at. I don't want to say and looking at your pictures, because that's really creepy. Viewer submitted photos. That sounds a lot less creepy. This is definitely in the entertainment category here. We're going to have to add a thumbnail. Give me a minute. We're going to go make one. We're about to break the internet. We're going to cheat. Tags. Cat videos. Cat video. Cat photo. Cat. Oops. Cat picture. All right. Because we're going to see a lot of... This is ridiculous. Monetization, I'm broke. We're turning that on. Sorry. Customization, you got to be a subscriber because we don't want spam, slow mode, blah, blah, blah. Visibility, we're going to set this stream up for 6:15 so we don't conflict with it. And now we need to go make a thumbnail. So hold on one second. You are literally seeing behind the scenes what I do every single day. Son of a gun. Hold on here. Yeah, it's about to get really ridiculous here, folks. Just hang on, we're about to have fun. This is like storm chaser streaming after dark. I don't know. It's about to get ridiculous here. All right, so I'm going to draw your attention here to my main computer monitor. Okay, so let's see here. We need a photo of mine here. Just something ridiculous. Now these thumbnails need to be flashy. They need to look good, but boy howdy, I don't know. I like this picture. I got something in my mind here. So anyway, need to make something that looks good. Obviously, this is YouTube, so we need to boost the contrast, take the saturation all the way sky high, make it look like the sky's on fire. People love that for some reason. Now we need to go into elements here. I use Canva for all this. It's great. I need to find a picture of a cat. That cat looks pretty legit. Hang on, I have to go into my photos album here real quick here to find a picture of myself to put on here. There's nothing inappropriate in here, believe me, my life's not that exciting. I just don't want to accidentally show something I shouldn't. I actually just found a picture of Karen, so we'll put Karen on there. And hold up here, guys. We are going to break the internet reacting to videos here. This is ridiculous. This is what I do with my life. Maybe I need to stop chasing storms and start reacting to cat videos. The calendar is made of photos we are selling. Yes, or photos we are. Yes, the calendar we are selling is made of photos from storm chases. Yes. All right. Check it out. So we have to, I hate putting, but when you do these IRL streams, you have to have, you got to put a face on these damn thumbnails. So we're going to remove the background here from Karen. Give this a minute here. All right, Karen doesn't look very very good, so we gotta brighten her up a little bit. That's fine. All right, we're gonna put this cat right here. It's ridiculous. All right. Okay, I got this. All right, you know, we're not even going to explain this thumbnail. We're literally just going to tack a bunch of red arrows on it. That's a terrible arrow. You know, making these YouTube thumbnails is actually more work than you might think it is. People, the YouTube algorithm loves big red arrows. This probably isn't a big enough, red enough arrow, but we're going to go ahead, take that, we're going to download it. This is probably the dumbest thing I've ever done. Can't believe I'm doing this live. This is how, like, starved for content we are here on this channel right now. Okay. That's not it. Where's my... Right here. Boom. Oh, we need a title. And yeah, add a little context there. People think we're a peeping Tom. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop this link down below. Oh, shoot, this actually might start the stream if I do that. Okay, I'm actually going to go ahead and drop this stream link in chat right now. Okay. I'm pinning it. So I just dumped it in the chat. I pinned it, so that means it's at the top of the chat. Okay, so here's what we can do. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. We are going to go over and we are going to do nothing but react to stupid stuff on Twitter. We've already got Chris in there already. He's talking something. Weston, storm tracking and forecasting. Everybody's already moving over. Go to that. I'm going to go tweet it out right now. We're going to go react to stupid stuff. You can go ahead and tweet the reactions to me, to my Twitter. I'm going to get out of here and go over to our other stream where we're going to talk about absolutely zero weather and see if we can break the internet reacting to cat videos, photos, and anything else that you want to tag me in, because guys, I really don't have anything else to do. So take care. I will see you in about 1 minute.